Hello, everyone. My name's Shannon. I'm often on the show doing the question and answer session, so you may recognize me from there. For those of you who don't know me, I am the area sales manager in Atlantic Canada. We are going to take you on a whirlwind tour today of Ontario and Quebec. In case you missed it, last week we focused on Western Canada, and you can now view that presentation on our Sellifications YouTube channel, which is My Sellifications. We will include a link to that specific presentation here in the chat if you want to take a peek at that later on. And next week we're going to continue on to Atlantic Canada. So our agents right across the country are popping on these presentations, and we're all more than happy to help you plan that next Canadian vacation that you've been dreaming of. So many hidden gems in our country that we haven't gotten to see. So we're going to talk about some of those today. And just first off, we've been having a few technical difficulties today. So we just wanted to let you know, just in case there's any glitches or anything, please forgive us. Hopefully we don't lose the stream or anything and everything pans out just fine, but we just wanted to give you that heads up. So I'm so excited today to have the opportunity to introduce 4 of our fabulous agents from Ontario and Quebec. First, we have Denise. Hi, Denise.
Hey, Shannon, how are you?
I'm good. Denise, do you want to let them know what office you're from?
Sure, yeah, absolutely. So yeah. I am from the Ajax store and I'm the branch manager there.
Amazing. So we'll come back to you here in a little bit, Denise. Thanks so much. Next we have Pat. Hi, Pat.
Good morning, good afternoon, actually, already. Good afternoon, Shannon.
Hey,
I'm Pat from Thunder Bay. Good, how are you?
Yes, I'm well, thank you. Thanks, Pat. We'll see you here in a bit as well. Again, we have Gabriella as well. Hi, Gabriella.
Hi, good afternoon, Shannon.
How are you today? I'm good, thanks. And what store are you coming to us from?
From Ottawa, from the beautiful city of Ottawa. I'm the supervisor.
Amazing, amazing. And last but certainly not least, we have Chelsea. Hi, Chelsea.
Hello, Shannon.
How's it going?
Not too bad. Yourself?
Good, good. I hear there's some snow actually out in Ontario and Quebec today. Is that right?
True?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
What store are you coming to us?
Unfortunately, yes.
Yes, I've heard from many of our colleagues. So it's bright and sunny here in Nova Scotia today and 18 degrees. So I'll certainly toot my horn about that because we've had some rainy weather the last few weeks. So, and Chelsea, can you let us know what store you're coming from?
Yes, I'm coming from Laval, just north of Montreal.
Yeah, so Chelsea's going to be representing Quebec today for us. Thank you, ladies. So before we start, should you have any questions at all, please feel free to enter them in the Q&A option on your screen. We'd be more than happy to answer those questions throughout the presentation. Heather from our St. Catharines store is in the background there answering your questions. We also will be trying to answer them live as well with the ladies on the live chat here. So I wanted to get started here. Pat has the pleasure of starting us off with Northern Ontario. I've known Pat for several years. Hey, Pat.
Hi, Shannon.
Can you tell us how long you've been with Sellifications?
Yes, I've been with Selloff for 23 years. They've been 23 amazing years.
Wow, that's a long time. You've got me beat. I'm 18 and a half years, but certainly I've known you for a long time. It's been a pleasure getting to know you as well. So can you tell me, have you lived in Thunder Bay all your life, Pat?
I have. I was born and raised in Thunder Bay. We're surrounded by natural beauty and surrounded by a lot of communities that represent Northwestern Ontario.
Okay, so I can see why you love it so much then.
Truly do.
Yeah, for sure. Pat, I've heard recently that Viking River Cruises is introducing a river cruise option from Thunder Bay. I think ending in Milwaukee and vice versa, depending on the dates you choose to sail. So I'm kind of intrigued by that, and I'm thinking that there will be a lot of travelers that might want to do a post or pre-cruise stay in Thunder Bay. Can you tell us about some of the must-see places in your hometown?
Sure, Shannon. I would love to share some of my favorite places with all of you. First of all, I'd like to start off with our icon, the Sleeping Giant, otherwise known as the Nana Bijou to us. It's visible from many places in the city. It's one of our natural wonders. The Giant is an Ontario park that offers many hiking trails, excellent wildlife viewing, and campsites to enjoy. There's a legend surrounding the giant that you can read about online, and there's also books that you can purchase. You'll see the sleeping giant with its large body. It has its arms folded across its massive chest. It's truly a natural beauty, one of my favorites. As we move along, another one of my weekly favorites is Marina Park. This is a local waterfront. It's near our downtown core. The views here are spectacular. You can grab a coffee, enjoy a walk by the lake. In the summertime, you can catch a movie outdoors in the evening, enjoy the outdoor dining, and there's many interesting boats to view. I wish I had one of those boats on the lake. There's various sailing tours that you can enjoy and hop on board as well, such as wine and cheese cruises, or better yet, give me a call and you can learn about the Great Lakes cruise that Shannon mentioned aboard the new Viking ship that will be leaving from Thunder Bay. This is one of the beautiful sights that I was able to enjoy one day was the rainbow. It was amazing. This was in the fall time. Another place just outside of Thunder Bay that you can enjoy is our Blue Point Amethyst Mine. It's a great spot for exploring and digging up your own amethysts that you can take home. It's a great place to visit. Mission Island Marsh. This is one of our local conservation areas that's tucked away in natural beauty. Has a combination of wilderness and boardwalks. You can enjoy the deer that roam around the streets leading up to the beautiful lake. It's a great place for evening sunsets. As you can see here, I love to enjoy and roam around. A lot of people tend to go out to Mission Marsh and they love to feed the deer. They actually come right up to your window. You can actually pet them. They're very friendly. They're very used to the locals going out there and feeding them.
Pat, can I just interrupt for 1 second?
Absolutely.
It's Shannon. I just
Hi,
while you're talking about the deer, I live in Nova Scotia, in my hometown in Truro. There's a lot of deer as well, and they've put. I'm just curious, actually. They've put a lot of we're not allowed to feed the deer anymore. Is that something that's come in place there, or no?
Yes, they don't want us to feed the deer. A lot of the locals go out there and they do feed the deer apples, but you're not supposed to, but a lot of people do go out and do it.
Yeah, they've become pretty localized for sure. It's almost like this. It's here in Truro. It's almost like they actually look both ways before they cross the road. They've gotten. I know that sounds crazy, but it seems like that. I don't know if you experience that there either, but it's kind of funny how that works. But they're cute.
They are very cute. They're everywhere. You can get some really great photos. And here, as well as the shoreline, you can take a walk along the shoreline. The other day when I was there, it was raining, but it was really nice to hear the waves. It reminded me of being in the Caribbean.
Oh, I'm sure, for sure. Yeah. Sorry to interrupt. I just was curious about that and thought we could chat about it quickly.
For sure.
Yeah.
So one of my hidden gems that I really like to enjoy is one of our other conservation areas, and it's also a local favorite, is the Cascades. It's perfect for hikers of all levels. You can hike down many various trails to the rushing rapids of the Current River. This is where in the summertime, many of us like to jump in and cool off in the summer. I actually on the trail there, you'll see me with my dog. We often like to go down this trail. It's a great hiking trail for different levels. Thunder Bay has a lot of proud local talent. I wanted to share some of that with you. One that we have is the Persian. Many of us locals are quite proud of the Persian. When I have visitors visiting me from out of town, I often tell them, I'm going to take you for a Persian, and they're like, take me for a Persian? You're going to take me rug shopping? Until I introduce them to this remarkable sweet bun with pink icing. So I had the pleasure this morning to stop into New Cheese to actually get one of these remarkable sweet buns so I can show you what I'm talking about. I'll enjoy this after the show. But this is our sweet Persian with the pink icing. That's absolutely amazing. It is soft and it tastes very, very good with my coffee, which I'll enjoy after this.
Yummy.
We have the pleasure of having New Cheese, which is a couple doors down next to us. Every time I fly out of the city, I tend to see a lot of the tourists leaving with a box of Persians on the aircraft. So it's quite nice to see that they enjoy some of our local talent. Thunder Oak Cheese Farm is another one of our talents that we have. It's a beautiful country drive down to Slate River Valley. It's home of our Gouda cheese. It's locally owned and operated. Here, you can watch how they make the Gouda cheese, and you can visit their farm store, which offers a variety of different flavors. So you can actually leave with pieces of cheese. Trust me, it's worth the visit. I don't even leave the parking lot without opening my package of cheese and eating some. Thunder Bay and surrounding areas have so many wonderful, unique places to visit. There's just too many to mention today, but just to mention a few, we do have Quebec Falls. We have Terry Fox Hare Monument, as you see in the photo. We offer Mount McKay. We also do Wilmette Canyon and much more. If you like to enjoy some of the more adventures, you can head towards Sault Ste. Marie. En route, I highly recommend stopping at some of the provincial parks. We've often stopped at Pancake Bay, Batchewana Bay, especially if you enjoy camping or just love to take photos or stretch your legs. I have the pleasure of seeing family in the Sioux, so I tend to do this route quite often. And I enjoy some of their hidden treasures. Here in the photo, you'll notice they offer the Agawa Canyon Tour. This is something I do recommend pre-booking in advance because it fills up quite quickly. You can enjoy a northern train ride, experience the breathtaking scenery to Agawa Park. It's only accessible by rail. From start to finish with the stops, this is roughly about a 10-hour day. Another famous site that I enjoy is their downtown waterfront. Grab an ice cream and enjoy their beautiful boardwalk along the St. Mary's River. And don't forget to make it over to their famous Sioux Locks. We love to share our beauty, and we love to see you soon. If you are in Thunder Bay, please drop in for a visit and say hello. I always love to see new faces.
Awesome, Pat. That was so much great information. It sounds like there's lots of lovely sites in your area. Certainly worth a visit, I'm sure. So I do have a few questions that came in here I think you can answer. One of them here, Pat, is someone asked, are there a lot of hiking areas in Thunder Bay? You had mentioned a hiking area that you go to quite often with your dog. And can you tell us your dog's name as well?
Yeah, I call him my little nature boy. His name is Buddy. And what got us on the nature trails is he is truly a nature boy. We love to go out. So there is, your question answer to that is there are a lot of trails around here. You can actually go online and you'll be able to view all the hiking trails around the Thunder Bay area. There's many and many of them, and even there's some towards our US border as well.
Okay, perfect. That's great. There's lots of hiking lovers out there, so that's great information. Someone else asked, Pat, and I know you can answer this because I know you've done the drive, but can you drive from Thunder Bay, from Toronto to Thunder Bay?
Yes, there you can. There is 2 routes that you can take. I tend to usually do the northern route only because it is shorter. It's about a 16-hour drive. Or you can take the main highway, the 1117, where you can make a lot of stops en route, which I would say is a prettier drive because there's more to see on 1117 versus the northern.
Right, so you could do it in a few days and plan some stops and such.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's a lot of stops en route that you can definitely stop in and see.
Okay, awesome. I know Toronto's kind of the hub for everybody to fly into usually, so I guess just curious about that. So that's awesome info. Thanks so much.
You're welcome.
Someone else mentioned the Persian that you showed on the screen looks like a donut. Is it similar, Pat?
It is. It's similar. It's similar to a donut. There's no hole in it. It is very, very similar. It's delicious, and the icing is kind of like a strawberry flavor, I guess you could say. It's fantastic. They make different flavors. They have chocolate. They have blueberry. Yeah, there's all different combinations, but this is the number one that started.
Yeah, nice. One of our colleagues, Kim, mentioned in our chat here, our question and answer, that you always send her home with Persians for the staff in Saskatoon. That's
I
nice.
do, absolutely. And my West, when I head out to our meetings, I'm going to have to pack those Persians because I promised I'd bring some.
Yeah, well, if you're ever on the East Coast, I'll take some here as well.
Absolutely. I'd love to bring some.
Yeah. One other question here, Pat, and we'll move along here shortly, but someone asked, are there a lot of bugs in the wooded hiking areas you mentioned? And is there a better time to go besides winter that is less buggy?
So, I mean, we're in northwestern Ontario.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, to be quite honest with you, I guess I'm used to the flies here, so I really don't find them bothersome, but we do tend to have the pesky little, we call them fruit flies, I guess you can say.
Yeah.
I do suggest, if you are very sensitive, to use some bug spray. Is there a better time? I mean, obviously, when it rains and you go into the bush, you are going to get those pesky little mosquitoes. But for the most part, I would say no. It's pretty good. Is there a better time? You know what? I start doing the trails now because they are drying out. So I would say, for the most part, from May until October, you get into the fall colors. It's fantastic.
Okay, excellent. Well, thank you so much, Pat. We may have some more questions for you later, but we're going to move on with our presentation. We're going to bring on Denise. So next we have our fabulous Denise. I think some of you may recognize Denise, as she has helped us with several presentations in the past. I know she's explored a lot of different areas in Ontario. I think I remember from last summer her posting lots of pictures and such, so I know she did a lot of exploring last summer with restrictions in place. So I'm so excited today to hear about what she's going to tell us. Hi, Denise.
Hey, Shannon.
Hey.
So that was awesome, Pat. I do have to say that there are some great vacation options in Ontario, of course, and the ones that Pat mentioned up north are fantastic. As Shannon mentioned, I did do a trip up north last summer. I did a 12-day camping trip to Thunder Bay, and it was absolutely fantastic. And you'll see on the screen right now, there is actually a picture of me on the rim of the Wimet Canyon that Pat had mentioned, and it's a fantastic view with a short little trail to get out to the rim as well. So definitely worthwhile. And I also recommend Pukasau National Park too. So if you're in the area this summer, definitely take in a sunset view from the beach there. So it's absolutely fantastic. But that being said, I'm actually going to be talking a little bit more about Southern Ontario today. So, of course, this is a huge area, so I've just picked out a few of my favorite destinations in Southern Ontario. So, first off, we're going to start as far south as we can possibly get, and that is Point Pelee and Pelee Island. Point Pelee and Pelee Island are located in Lake Erie. And you can take a ferry across to the island, or you can fly. There is a small airport on the island as well. If you are looking for a very close to home but quick getaway to a very kind of laid back place, this is the place to go for sure. So they do have some great fishing on the island, lots of biking and walking trails, wineries, restaurants, and of course they've got some amazing beaches. So I think Pelee Island is a great destination for a weekend getaway. Next stop is an area that I try to get down to at least once a year, and I'm talking about the Waterloo region. So Waterloo is approximately an hour, hour and a half from Toronto along the 401. And I think one of the biggest attractions here is the St. Jacob's Market. So this market was started in 1952, and it has absolutely everything. everything and anything. So they do have antiques, collectibles, plants, furniture, and then there is also a huge portion of it is their food market. So it's full of local bakers, cheesemongers, local farm produce, locally raised meats, and so much more. So I never leave this from the St. Jacobs Market without some of the local summer sausage and the real deal pickles that they make, and you pull them right out of the barrel too. There definitely is still a large Mennonite population in the area as well, so you will frequently see horse and buggies along the side of the roads. So definitely drive with care and share the roads. And there are lots of small little farm stands selling fresh produce, honey, and baking along the roads too. So definitely stop and check those out. And then one of my other favorite attractions in the area is the Cambridge Butterfly Conservatory. So the conservatory is home to approximately 2,000 butterflies at any given time. And you can walk through the tropical indoor gardens and watch as the butterflies fly all around. They'll land on you, and you can even watch the whole process as they turn from caterpillars into pupa into butterflies. They've got a great little setup presentation there as well. It's just a really cool experience. So I definitely would recommend that. And then from Waterloo, we're going to go a little bit further north. So we're going to head up to Algonquin and the Muskoka regions. So these areas are an absolute outdoor enthusiast dream. Muskoka, if you're familiar, is definitely cottage country. Home to about 1,600 lakes. It is beautiful year-round as well. I would definitely recommend, if you're heading up there in the winter months, to check out the Muskoka Lakes Farm and Winery. They do clear a track around the outside of their cranberry bog, so you can actually skate around the bog, and then when it's time to warm up, they've got a few fires outside that you can warm up around, and of course enjoy a sample of their wines, and they are fantastic for sure, so check that out. In the summer, of course, swimming, boating, and hiking in the area are at their absolute prime. So there's so many different options. So you can find quiet lakes, really busy lakes with lots of speedboats. So it's just a matter of finding that right destination for you. Now this summer, while I was on my 12-day camping trip on my way back home, I did stop in Burk's Falls, and I stopped at the Screaming Heads. So this is a art installation on the artist's property where he has created over 100 giant screaming heads. And you can walk around the property and check them all out. It's a really unique experience, and it's nice just to kind of wander around and check it out. It's not too far. I think it's maybe 10 minutes off the highway, 20 minutes outside of Huntsville, so really easy to get to. From there, we're going to head over to Algonquin Park. So I personally love our provincial park system. I had the opportunity when I was much younger to work in the park system, and it definitely is one of my favorites. So Algonquin Park is right there in the area, and of course this is it is the original provincial park. So it was established in 1893, originally as a wildlife sanctuary. And Algonquin is perfect for a day trip, a weekend trip, or even if you wanted to go a little bit longer and maybe spend a couple weeks in the park, you can definitely do that. Now, the park is home to 8 drive-in campgrounds, visitor center, art gallery, logging museum, and there are 14 hiking trails with varying levels of difficulty, and several of them are also wheelchair accessible. So there are options for everybody, of course. You can also hike in or paddle into several of their campgrounds, so there's lots of different options there. Now, if camping isn't your style, there are several hotels and resorts in and around the park as well, so you can definitely take advantage of that. And within about a 2-hour drive of Algonquin Park, there are options for whitewater rafting. There's a wolf sanctuary in Haliburton, and of course, several other provincial parks like Arrowhead or Silent Lake. All right, so from Algonquin, now we're going to head back down south towards Lake Ontario. This area that we're going to next is Prince Edward County, and it is truly a fantastic area. So we are located about 2 hours east of Toronto for Prince Edward County. And this area is great for, quaint little small towns, great fresh produce, wineries, spas, beaches, lots of antique shops as well. I think probably the #1 attraction in or town in Prince Edward County is probably Bloomfield. There's some great local shopping and restaurants here, and I would suggest that if you like ice cream, stop in at Slicker's Artisanal Ice Cream and grab a cone because it truly is fantastic. Close by, you've got Sandbanks Provincial Park as well, where you can walk and climb the 12 kilometers of sand dunes and beaches. This park is incredibly popular, so if you are planning on camping there, you do have to reserve in advance. Okay. Now, the last area that we're going to talk about is the Kawarthas, and this is one of my favorites, and still is one of my favorites because I do currently live here, and I've lived here for most of my life in the Peterborough area. Now, this is another cottage country area, so it's full of beautiful lakes and lots of great activities, fishing, camping, hiking, boating, so many options. The Trans-Canada Trail runs right through the area, so you can walk for absolute miles in either direction. Let's see here. Now, Peterborough is also home to the Lift Locks Canadian Canoe Museum, and in the summer they've got the free Music Fest concerts, and they always attract a crowd. I've seen some great shows at the Peterborough Music Fest. One of the best shows that I ever saw was, of course, legendary boy band Hanson. It was fantastic. And if you're
Denise,
hungry, yes.
Shannon, did you say Hanson?
I sure did.
Oh my goodness. Wow, that takes me way back for sure. I had to just make sure that's what you said.
It is, yeah.
That's awesome.
And you know what? It wasn't that long ago either. It was, I want to say maybe 6 years ago.
Really? Oh, so they're like
it was
grown
pretty
up.
recent. And they were fantastic. It was a fantastic show. So
I guess they wouldn't have done a free show way back when. Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
So if they come back, I'll give you a call. But
Okay, sweet. Thanks.
For sure. But yeah, if you're hungry after the concert or before, I would definitely recommend St. Veronis. It is a local tap room. They are serving great Belgian options, and they have so many beers in their tap room. A great selection, all imported from Belgium. Sorry, can't speak. There's some great local shopping in Peterborough, Bobcaygeon and Lakefield, Fenland Falls, and lots of small little hidden gems all over the place as well. You can rent a houseboat on one of the local lakes too and use the canal system to explore the area. I think my hidden gem for Peterborough and the Kawarthas areas would be Warsaw Caves Conservation Area. I usually get up there at least a few times a year. It's located about 30 minutes from Peterborough, and you can go spelunking through the cave system that were formed during the last ice age. So there's caves and kettles, and you'll see a picture of one of the kettles of my 2 nephews at the bottom of it. So there's swimming, kayaking, canoeing, and it's all done along the crystal clear Indian River. And there's also about 15 kilometers worth of hiking trails as well. So definitely would recommend that.
That's a lot of places to visit. So many amazing places in Ontario. Oh my gosh. And, you know, just to mention quickly, we're not even covering the major tourist attractions here today. We're trying to get to give you all the information of kind of the hidden stuff that you might not know about if you're, you know, you're not from Ontario or in those areas. So that's some really great information, Denise. And I have to say, you spoke about cottage country, Muskoka. I was there a couple summers ago, and I loved it. It took a little while to get there from Toronto, but certainly once we were there, it was well worth it. Just beautiful in that area. I should have worn my Muskoka sweatshirt today. I love it. They're a little pricey, but they're certainly really good quality and very comfortable. So, so yeah, Denise, I do have some questions here for I think you could answer. One came in, and I think it's more so related to travel between Ontario, Toronto, and Thunder Bay, because this question came in a little bit earlier. But I know you traveled that way last year. Is there any great places to stop with kids that are 9 and 6 if you're driving that route that you can think of? Yeah.
I would, if you're interested in, again, visiting the provincial parks, there is Shoots Provincial Park, just outside of Sudbury, I think it's about 40 minutes.
Okay.
And it's actually got a very cool natural lazy river that you can float down. So definitely bring your floaties for that. Pancake Bay, as Pat had mentioned, is an incredible beach area. There's not a whole lot of like commercial attractions or anything like that. There's no adventure parks or anything like that.
More like
but definitely
scenic places.
Yeah, more scenic. Yeah. Lake Superior Provincial Park has an area called the Bathtubs as well.
Oh.
So as Pat can probably testify, Lake Superior is freezing. But this area is it kind of creates a natural pool on top of some of the rocks, and it's pretty shallow and it warms up very quickly. So that's a cool place to check out as well.
Okay, perfect. I have a quick question for you too, actually, Denise. If you were to take a family or friend to Toronto, like downtown Toronto, where would you take them? Because I know we didn't talk about Toronto at all, really, because it's a major kind of attraction in itself. So, but if you were to take a family or a friend down that haven't been before, where would you take them?
So I'd say probably depending on the group that I'm with. So if it's kids, then I would probably check out the aquarium. In the summer, if there's a Jays game on, I would probably do something like that. And even the Royal Ontario Museum is great. They've got a great kids area within the museum. If it's adults, I would maybe check out Fort York is a really cool historical attraction. I did a food tour of St. Lawrence Market last year, which was really cool. So I would recommend that too.
Okay, awesome. I've been to Toronto a few times, and I actually had the pleasure to see Chris Stapleton at the Budweiser stage 2 summers ago, and it was absolutely amazing.
Wasn't he amazing?
And that he was, and that venue is absolutely amazing. So if anybody ever has the opportunity to see a concert at that venue, it's an outside venue, and you can dine within there as well. I didn't really realize this until I was inside, because we actually ate before we went. But if I was to go again, I would definitely plan to just go early and kind of wander around. There's some little shops and some eating places. So yeah. All right. Well, thanks so much, Denise. You have such a passion for travel. It always shines through. And you have anywhere you travel, you always seem to find like nooks and crannies everywhere. So thank you so much.
No worries. Thanks, Shannon.
Yeah. Next, we have Gabriella joining us from our Ottawa store. I've had the pleasure to visit Ottawa myself a few years back for 3 nights, I believe. I absolutely loved it. So much to see and do there. So I'm really excited today to hear what Gabriella is going to tell us all about. Hey, Gabriella.
Hi, how are you? Thank you so
I'm
much, Shannon.
good.
Yes, I'm going to talk about my personal recommendation if you visit Ottawa. So I've been living in Ottawa for 15 years, and I really love the city. So hopefully, my choice is like for our viewers. Okay, so the first attraction and the most popular is the Parliament Hill. Parliament Hill has unique activities through summer and winter. And my recommendation is if you want to take the Parliament Hill tour, I suggest to pre-book the tickets online before heading out, because they don't do first come first serve anymore. Talking about summer activities, we have the Sound and Light Show every night at the Parliament Hill. Goes between July and September. On Wednesdays, we have a new activity that is Yoga on the Hill. Very popular. You can see about 200 people every Wednesday ready with the bottles of water, ready for the yoga. And we know the most popular event ever, that is Canada Day. They have a lot of activities for Canada's birthday every year with amazing fireworks at nighttime. So far, we don't know yet if this coming summer we will have any festivities right on the hill, but we will keep, updating to see what is going on because of COVID, of course. Another attraction right in the same area of the Parliament Hill, we have the Peace Tower. That is a very nice tour if you take it all the way to the top, because you can see a 360-degree view of the city. So it's the best place to take pictures. And as well, you can stop by changing of the guard. This activity runs between June and August, as well recommended for all the family. If you more activities around, if you walk about 10 minutes, you will find the Rideau Canal. The Rideau Canal is the world's largest skating ring in the world, very popular destination for winter activities. But as we know, summer activities are very popular too. So you can rent canoeing, you can do biking now, you can cruise in the canal by boat, or you can just have a simple walk and grab as well Beaverdale, very popular in Ottawa, Beaverdales. My other suggestion, if you're an art lover, Ottawa is the best city to visit. One of the most famous, we have here is the National Gallery of Canada, that it has about 4,000 pieces of art. And all these tourist attractions that I just talked, you can just have, you can walk in between each other. They're not far from downtown. If you want to have nightlife and as well see a full activities, you have to stay by the Byward Market. That market has been open for about 200 years. And the most popular hotel to be in the area is the historic Chateau Laurier. That would be my recommendation, but we have a lot of hotels around too with different budgets. And my hidden gem, that is my personal, we have this haunted walking tour. The haunted walking tour is a 90-minute walking tour where you can visit most spooky and haunted buildings in downtown Ottawa. So that would be my, my recommendation out of the basic ones. And another one that is good for the food lovers, we have in Ottawa the Pelican Seafood Market and Grill. This is one of the most popular restaurants for seafood in Ottawa. This restaurant has been broadcast at the Food Network by the famous chef Guy Fieri with the popular lobster poutine. So see, Shannon, now you can enjoy next time you're in Ottawa the lobster poutine.
That sounds so good. I love crab and I love poutine, so that sounds amazing.
And before, I just wanted to remind you that Ottawa has many festivals through the year. And one is the one that is the most popular and the biggest is the Tulip Fest that is hosted every May. So, and I invite everyone, to have the opportunity to, visit the city in May. Is beautiful. And any other questions that you have, I'm very, very happy to help you here in Ottawa. Because as I said, I've been here for 15 years, so it's many, many places I can suggest for the visitors to the city.
Thanks so much, Gabriella. There is so much to do in Ottawa, and I mean that just kind of touches on some of the, the hidden places and a couple of the most popular. But it's certainly well worth the visit if you ever have the opportunity to go. Gabriella, one question for you is, what's the public transit like there? I don't remember using it too much when I was there. We walked most places because we stayed at the Fairmont, which is right downtown. Yeah, just wondering what the public transportation's like.
Yeah, Ottawa has a very good public system. Yeah, they run 7 days a week and it has a lot of connectors, so you can even go to the other part of town. So from center to the south.
And is it easy to follow and use?
Yes, they have an app, OC Transport app, very popular. And then you can ride in downtown. They have a tourist office that you can buy the day pass or the week pass. So it's quite,
so it's probably pretty affordable that way then.
Yeah, as well, you can rent bikes. Ottawa has biking trails all over the city. And now in downtown, you can rent the bike too. So it's even better.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Also, there would be Ubers and such as well. So lots of different options. So I think I wanted to mention too that the Byward Market's amazing. I loved that. It was just down from the Fairmont where I stayed, and there's so many different dining spots there and shops and little nooks and crannies. So it's definitely a great little spot to visit even a couple times during your stay. So. And I think that was all the questions I had for now, Gabby. If any more come in, I certainly will come back to you. But thank you so much for all that information. Amazing. Next, we're going to move on to Chelsea. Chelsea is going to represent Quebec today, and I'm really intrigued to hear what Chelsea has to tell us, because I've not really had the opportunity to visit Quebec a lot. I've been to Montreal, but just in the airport area, and that's it. So Chelsea, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm great, thank you.
All right, so bonjour tout le monde. Mon nom est Chelsea. Je suis une conseillère de voyage à la succursale à Laval. Hello, everyone. I am Chelsea. I'm a travel counselor at the Laval branch, just north of Montreal. There's so many things to do and see in Quebec. Of course, the two main destinations being Quebec City and Montreal, which is my hometown. So first, Quebec City, particularly Old Quebec, filled with historical charm. It was even designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site and is still the most intact fortified town north of Mexico. The oldest building actually in Quebec City is the Maison Jacquette, which was built in 1675 and is now actually a restaurant. It's called Aux Anciennes Canadiennes. So this way you can enjoy some traditional Quebec specialties while being surrounded by history. The best way to explore Old Quebec is actually on foot. Walking around the cobblestone streets is a perfect way to explore all of the hidden historical gems scattered throughout the city. This way you don't miss anything because there are so many different things hidden here and there. Little alleyways, lots of older buildings as well. If you get hungry along the way, there are plenty of restaurants to try. It's nice to, just stop, relax a little bit. When I was there last, middle of the day, seek shelter from the sun and to get our bite to eat, we went to the pub. I believe it was the Saint Alexandre. Excellent food, helped replenish our energy for more walking throughout the rest of the day as well. A lot of small boutiques to check out. And then, of course, there is the Dufferin Terrace, which is the gorgeous boardwalk right next to the Chateau Frontenac. And right there, you can have fantastic views of Old Quebec and the St. Lawrence River. As well, also in the hotel, you get fantastic views from each of the rooms. If you want something a little more natural, about 20 minutes outside of Quebec City by drive is the Montmorency Falls. And these falls are actually 30 meters taller than Niagara Falls. There's a cable car that will take you to the top of the cliff for an amazing view. There's also the suspension bridge that crosses right above. So you can actually feel the rush of the falls while you're walking across. Or if you're feeling a little more adventurous, there are 3 Via Ferrata routes that take you right up to the cliff, as well as a zip line, as you can see in the photo, that rushes you right across. And then, of course, who can forget about Montreal? You can take a stroll around Old Montreal and the Old Port. Again, very similar to Quebec City in Old Quebec. A lot of historical sites to see, plenty of restaurants and boutique shops to choose from, many historical buildings. In particular, there's the Notre Dame Basilica. There's even a floating spa with views of the city. So you can book a day at the Bota Bota Spa, get a massage, some pampering, and then you can relax in the outdoor water circuit while enjoying views of the Montreal skyline. Or even you can head over to the Clock Tower Beach right at the end of the Old Port. There's also a view of the Jacques Cartier Bridge in the background as well. For a little more action, you can explore downtown Montreal, tons of shopping. And then you can head over to Crescent Street for its selection of bars and restaurants. Typically during the summer months, especially when there's events going on, people will head over to Crescent Street because there's all sorts of activities and live music. And then there's also the Plateau neighborhood, slightly more laid back than downtown, but still ample things to do and see. The best way to describe the Plateau is colorful, quirky, and creative. Is basically quintessential Montreal. You have plenty of cafes, bars, bookstores, restaurants, lots of designer shops, but then it's also balanced with lots of beautiful residential side streets, which are lined with colorful houses and, of course, those iconic outdoor spiral staircases that you see all over Montreal. You can grab a coffee at one of the many small cafes, such as Cafe Myriad, which is a favorite among the locals, and then you can walk around to see all the different murals. Since the Plateau has many to see. As I mentioned, it's very creative, so lots of street art. People will stop and perform music as well. They actually have little outdoor pianos that are available to the public to use as well. You can also head over to La Fontaine Park, Again, with the little coffee from the cafe or with a picnic. The locals love to spend time outdoors in the summertime, soaking up the sunshine, and it's a great way to gather with your friends in a safe way in these COVID times. For a bite to eat, there is the La Banquise restaurant for a poutine, because of course you can't come to Montreal without having a poutine. And the Banquise in particular has 28 different types to choose from.
Chelsea, did you just say 28?
28.
Wow.
28 types of poutine. You have smoked meat poutine. I believe they have a steak one. Even for vegans and vegetarians, they cater to them as well.
Oh my gosh, that sounds dreamy.
It does, and also in the Plateau area, you have bagels, the St. Viator and the Fairmont Bagel Shop, because bagels, of course, are notorious in Montreal.
I've heard that. I've not had the opportunity to try them, but I have certainly heard that they're amazing.
People will come here and they'll bring back suitcases full, especially to share with their friends.
Wow, really?
So, yeah.
Is what makes them so good? Like what sets them apart from a fresh bagel here on the East Coast?
I think it's both the texture and the taste. I find the Montreal bagels tend to have a little bit of a sweeter taste.
Okay.
And a little bit squishier, a little softer.
Yeah, awesome. Well, I'll have to try one of those at some point. Maybe you could ship me one.
Maybe.
I'd rather come visit though.
Yeah, now we can take advantage of our city at the same time and get that poutine. I don't think poutine ships very well.
No, it'll be a little soggy.
Moving on, right in the middle of the city is Mount Royal, which is our namesake, of course. You can spend the day walking around the many winding paths, have a picnic on the grass on the hill that's right beside Beaver Lake, which is the large lake that's located right in the middle of Mount Royal. In the winter, actually, when it's frozen over, you can go skating over it, and the little building that's right there, it's a great place to warm up. They offer hot chocolate as well. And then, of course, you can take in the gorgeous views of Montreal from the Belvedere right near the top. Great views of the Montreal downtown skyline. It's a great way to spend time surrounded by nature without actually having to leave the city. So you get the balance of urban and then natural at the same time. And of course, Montreal is known for its festivals during the summer. Each year we host the Jazz Fest, Just for Laughs, Les Francopholies, Osheaga, Heavy MTL, and the Grand Prix. Montreal being one of the few, if not, I believe, the only city in North America that hosts the Grand Prix, and along with many other events as well. So basically, there's always something to do in Montreal when you come to visit.
Wow. Amazing information, Chelsea. So much to do, so much to see. You covered that that a lot of the stuff you personally like to do as well, which is great. Our country's full of so many beautiful places. We have so many hidden gems no matter where you travel. So we're so lucky to live here and hopefully get to see a lot of the country at some point. Chelsea, I have a question here. Actually, someone had asked when Gabriella was on, but I think you can answer the question as well. You can get to Ottawa quite quickly from Montreal or vice versa. How long of a drive is that?
From Ottawa to Montreal, I believe it's about 2 hours, I want to say.
So it's a pretty quick trip.
Yeah, it's a very simple trip, especially along it's like the 440, something like that.
Okay, that's awesome. And another question here is, what's the bus system like in Montreal?
We have excellent public transportation here. We have the underground metro system that runs through, I believe, the majority of the island. Buses as well to get you everywhere from point A to point B. And then also bikes. We are a very, very bike-friendly city. Lots of bike paths. In particular, actually, there's the one that runs along the Lachine Canal. A pretty long stretch, about 15 kilometers. And it runs all the way from the Lachine Borough to the west, all the way to Old Port, and it passes a little bit south of downtown, so it's very easy to get to from downtown as well.
Okay, some really great options then. Someone said, where is the place called that we go to indoor for skydiving experience?
For the skydiving experience, I'm not too sure about that one.
Did someone else mention that in the presentation? But it looks like it's currently closed, but it's called Sky Venture. And it's skyventuremontreal.com. So we would have more information there, and certainly our agents can help you with that too if you want to reach out. Someone else mentioned, where is the little village that is quiet and near water? Did you mention something of that, Chelsea? Or did one of the other agents on here? It's just a question someone posted. I'm not sure exactly what it's referring to, but
I can think maybe possibly there's the Little Burgundy neighborhood. It's by the Lachine Canal, south of downtown. a lot of shops and restaurants, but very also residential. So you have a nice little balance. Great for families. There's also the Atwater Market, so you can grab something to eat from there and head over for a picnic by the canal.
Okay, perfect. And one last question here, and we're going to have to finish things off. We're running a little late today, but certainly some great information, so worth the little longer show. Do you have any amazing sushi places in Quebec you would recommend?
We do have sushi shops all over. I personally don't eat sushi, but sushi shop tends to be the most popular one.
Sushi shop?
Yeah,
Okay.
easy to find as well.
Okay, perfect. And I think Peggy's going to answer there in the background as well with her opinion. So she's from our Point Claire office, so right in Quebec as well. All right, so we're going to finish off the show. Again, that was really great information, ladies. If we didn't get to your question, we'll get to it in the background there and make sure we get it answered. But we will end off things. I think Pat's going to end us off, and Denise.
Thank you to all the viewers joining us today. If you have posted a question, didn't get answered, Peggy and Heather will remain online to respond to any questions that we may have missed. Keep in mind, where permitted, our storefront locations are open. Please refer to our website, selloffvacations.com, for the current hours of operation for your local store. Alternatively, agents are available to assist you by phone until 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight. You can reach to one of our Ontario or Quebec agents at 1-877-735-5633. You can also contact Denise, Peggy, Gabriella, or myself directly. Our contact information should be up on your screen now for you to take a screenshot.
Sorry, my apologies. I was muted. I just wanted to remind everyone that we will be back next week for another presentation. I encourage you to visit our website, selloffvacations.com, and sign up for our weekly newsletter. The newsletter will keep you up to date on our current promotions, and we will also have information about the upcoming presentations. So please join us next Wednesday, April 28th, and we will be continuing east, and we will be talking to our experts in Atlantic Canada with their top recommendations for visiting their provinces. We hope you will join us again, and have a great day, everyone. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.